5:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WGN. Time for the Gang of Three Amigos, brought to you by My Patriot Supply and PrepareWithMandis.com. Jay Harper is in for Ken Weaver. Hello, Ken.
Hello,
Jay.
Ken.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Dan. Hey, Dave. Thank you, buddy. Top of the morning to you.
Now, can I tell you what happened? Hello, Johnny. You know what happened?
Hello, Don.
Is I'm checking out all of the F&M bank chat line people.
Yeah.
See what they're saying this morning, because I like to check out the Members Nutrition Super Text line and also the F&M bank chat line. And so when I was saying hello to Jay, is it?
Yeah.
Jay, that's right.
Yeah, we met, in the hall?
Earlier. Yeah. Just this morning.
I was distracted by my image on the computer. That's why it's hard for me to look at the F&M bank chat line.
You're so darn pretty.
No, Johnny, that's actually not it at all. Right. But anyway, so there you go.
Okay.
So that's why I said that, Jay.
Yeah, you're forgiven. You got a lot on your plate, Dave.
I do have a lot on my plate.
It's quite all right.
So let's play some DeNiro audio.
Oh, please.
Now, I assume Brian did this yesterday, although I don't know exactly what time all of this was. But Robert De Niro shows up, and this was like a campaign thing for Biden. And so De Niro shows up, and a couple of the January 6th law enforcement officers who are involved in January 6th were also there. But the audio doesn't do it justice, which I'm going to play. But De Niro shows up, because De Niro's infused with Trump derangement syndrome. And so De Niro shows up, and he's surrounded by like a dozen, they look like goons. I'm just going to tell you, they look like goons. And so De Niro shows up, and he's wearing a mask. Now, I don't know why he's wearing a mask, because he immediately pulls it down when he sees some Trump supporters, and he starts jawing back and forth with the Trump supporters. So why did you wear the mask in the first place, you numbnuts?
Well, maybe he's doing the populace favor, covering up that ugly mug of his.
You know what I wish he would do with that mask is actually take it off his face and shove it in his mouth.
Or elsewhere.
Yeah, another orifice might be appropriate.
Yes.
You know what? Let's all just start sending Robert De Niro masks so that he has enough masks for all the places he needs to stick them. This got weird. Anyway,
yeah,
so this is Robert De Niro.
This city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns. We have them all over the city. People who do crazy things in the street, we tolerate it. It's part of the city. It's part of the culture.
So he says the clowns are part of the city's culture.
Well, he's proof.
He is absolute proof, Johnny. You're right. And the funny thing is, he's got this whole tough guy thing going on, which I understand that's part of his shtick. But I don't know, when you're running around New York years after COVID, wearing a mask, it kind of just, the whole tough guy act just kind of disintegrates.
But not a person like Trump. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth.
Where does he have proof of that? Oh, yeah, that's part of what he said. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth.
Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth. I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye.
What freedom?
That we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave.
What is... I mean, what does anybody, the members of the media that were there, did anybody ask, raging bullsh, what he means by that? Because there's no evidence, there's no proof at all of anything that he said there. None whatsoever. And so for De Niro, he's in front of a microphone. He's got all these papers, and he's like shuffling all of these papers. I kind of edited it for time.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's making all of these, and this is what Robert De Niro does, is he's got all of these outlandish statements that have absolutely no basis in fact. And my question would be, okay, is there anybody who was there who asked DeNiro, "What do you mean by that? Like, what proof do you have?"
What the heck are you talking about?
Because, and here's the funny thing. On CNN, because Matt Murphy puts CNN on, and they're always, their two favorite words, without evidence, right? Without evidence, and they're always talking about Donald Trump. Well, my question would then be, when they cover all of this nonsense by Robert De Niro.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye.
Okay. What evidence do you have? I would ask CNN, where is your two favorite words? De Niro said, without evidence, that we would no longer have elections. That's not the way CNN.
Well, and look at the freedoms we've lost under this administration. Good gracious. Do you want to live this again, Bob?
Yeah, the weaponization of the DOJ, FBI, and
You have FBI, basically taking the license plate numbers of parents that dare question.
Oh yeah, the school board moms going after the moms that stood up to the school boards.
Exactly,
labeling them terrorists.
Exactly,
domestic terrorists.
It's exactly right.
Yeah, you call that freedom, Bob?
And so then, of course, it just came into my head, and this is dumb. You called him Bob.
Yeah.
I've been referring to him as a nut job. He's like Nut Bob.
Yeah, he is. He is Nut Bob. What about Bob?
He's a nut. Whatever. All right.
Tie him to the front of a boat.
So then the best part. I'm
sailing.
Then the best part was when the Trump supporters started jawing back.
You are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up.
Now, if you can't hear,
You're washed up.
He's saying, so he is calling the Trump supporters gangsters.
You are gangsters. You are gangsters. You're washed up. You.
You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash.
You're nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash. I mean,
you're washed up.
You're washed up.
You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done out there.
By the way, in the middle of all this, he still doesn't have his mask back on. and he is just like, a foot from these people. And people are really angry.
Oh yeah. Well, they had a right to be. He was Well,
it was just the whole thing.
He started it.
The whole thing was just so ridiculous. Now I have a little montage just to tell you how absolutely ridiculous Joe Biden is incorporating Robert De Niro into his campaign, because nobody takes this guy seriously based on what he has said in the past.
Psychopathic, malignant narcissist. Narcissistic and self-centered. A national disgrace. Such a mean, nasty, hateful person. Knows everything he projects about negative things on individuals, on situations, on institutions. He's saying about himself. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt. You insult people, say the terrible things about them when you feel that way about yourself. He's an idiot. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. Pull the country together to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up. I'd like to punch him in the face. You insult people, say the terrible things about them when you feel that way about yourself. The divisive, racist, misogynist, ignorant. Looks like a clown, acts like a clown.
I mean, this goes on forever.
Well, there's one in there. There's one statement in there that if Donald Trump wanted to, he could have the Secret Service after this guy.
Yeah, the punch you in the face thing?
You cannot say that about
Absolutely.
You cannot say that.
That's a threat to the president of the United States. Bodily harm.
Yeah, the Secret Service, if Donald Trump wanted to,
right,
he could stick the Secret Service on them. So everything he's saying is absolute bunk.
And they should, actually. They should have, and Trump should have gone after De Niro.
Stupid bully. Stupid. He's a lowlife. That scumbag. He's sick. Total loser. Is like a gangster. He's just obtuse. He's dumb. So he's just stupid, obtuse. You insult people, say the terrible things about them when you feel that way about yourself.
So the last part I infused a few times in there because, it's DeNiro saying, well, all the things that Trump is saying about other people, he's actually saying about himself. Well, that's what DeNiro is doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, especially when he calls him a gangster. What are you? You act like a gangster.
Yeah.
It's like you took your movie roles too seriously.
Me? You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
To me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you hear what I'm saying here?
Then who the hell else are you talking to?
I'm talking to you. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you here? Shut your pie hole.
By the way, people seem to like my idea of, and our idea of allowing and suggesting Robert De Niro to take that mask and shove it in his mouth as a gag.
Yeah, or elsewhere.
I like that. Or
I do
elsewhere.
too.
Absolutely right. By the way, you know who sounds really good? Is Dennis Quaid. So when you've got De Niro, who is clearly unhinged. I mean, clearly unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Quaid had this to say about voting for Donald Trump to Piers Morgan.
What do you think of Trump?
I think I'm going to vote for him.
Really?
Yeah, in the next election. Yes, I am.
Are you ready for the blowback?
Well, yeah.
If inevitably comes with Trump?
I think this election, everybody's got to, I think they're going to take a side or whatever, but it just seems to me, it just makes sense. I was ready not to vote for Trump until what I saw is more than politics. I see a weaponization of our justice system.
Yeah.
And a challenge to our Constitution, us as Americans, that I don't think we're going to have. And, Trump is the most investigated person probably in the history of the world.
Yep.
And they haven't been able to really get him. People might call him an asshole, but he's my asshole.
There you go.
Amen. That's what we need right now. We need a beep owl.
We need to somehow put that on a bumper sticker.
Yes.
Trump. He's an a-hole, but he's my a-hole.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. I would probably be an a-hole, too, if I had all the things that has happened to Trump happen to me. I mean, when you look at what this whole trial is about, you've got, Stormy Daniels alleging some sort of a tryst that has never been proven. You've got Michael Cohen, who worked very closely with Donald Trump for years, admitted liar, stole from the former president. You've got all of these people that are constantly trying to go after you as a rich, famous guy, Donald Trump. And now you've got the entire Justice Department and the entire Biden administration going after you legally via lawfare. So, yeah, I would probably be an a-hole, too, if I were Donald Trump.
And this is why people like Dennis Quaid are rallying behind him, because they see this.
Yep.
And they see how unfair it is and how un-American it is.
I tell you, though, it's brave on his part, Quaid, to come, there's so many actors supposedly that are supportive of conservative causes, but they're fearful of being blacklisted.
Yeah, they're quiet.
Yeah, they are. They have to be. Well, I think that you probably get to a certain point where you realize just people know if you're conservative and you might as well just speak your mind. But here's the thing. Quaid's not denigrating anybody.
No.
I mean, I didn't hear the full extent of the interview, but, he sounds like a guy that is just, he can't believe what he's seeing. And so seems to be respectful in that minute-long soundbite, and except he calls Donald Trump an a-hole, but he's going to support him. But when you look at the insanity and the irrational, deranged behavior of like a Robert De Niro, and then you hear like Dennis Quaid I think I'm going to vote for Trump.
Well, yeah, it's just matter of fact. And I think he's right. I mean, I know a lot of people love Trump. I loved what he did as president. I do think he can be an a-hole, but I think we need an a-hole.
That's that a-hole quality about Donald Trump is part of what made his administration, quite frankly, so impactful and effective. And that's why the Democrats don't like him, because he doesn't cower to them.
Exactly. He gets things done.
And for some reason, Trump, one of the things that I found attractive, that it's always America first.
Exactly.
Yep. And the Democrats, for some reason, they hate that.
They hate America.
Yeah.
Remember that audio that I played yesterday? You go to a Trump rally and
It's
they're
USA.
chanting USA, USA. You go to a Democrat rally, and what are they screaming? Free Palestine.
Exactly.
So
from the river
to the sea.
Yeah, or from the mountains to the sea.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever the slogan.
All right. So do we have a consensus as to any predictions, Jay or Johnny, as to what this is going to be? I'm thinking it's going to be a hung jury.
I do too.
That would not surprise me. Again, I just find it difficult to find a really unbiased jury in New York. I don't know, the racial makeup of the jury, don't know any of that.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
I think it's going to be a hung jury. We'll have to see what happens. And, but I would not be surprised if Trump was found guilty on all counts either. Here's the deal. Nothing would surprise me in this situation.
Are you talking to me, Don?
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me right now?